book review, Pitch Anything, by Oren Klaff, I think is how you say his name, but it's a great book. I was talking to one of my buddies about Never Split the Difference, and he suggested this one. He said it goes like hand and foot with it, hand and whatever with it. So it's a really good book. It talks about how the way we use our brain, it kind of explains the crack brain and like the neurocortex. And a lot of people, when they pitch, they show a lot of data, a lot of numbers, a lot of stuff that the neurocortex calculates, decides on, right? But he said that instead of doing that, you should be targeting the crack brain, right? And that's like our old brain. That's like our flight or flight, like fear, happiness, you know, like our first instincts, right? So he said to always target that to kind of keep the audience engaged and actually win the pitch, right? So that was like one of the things they covered. The second thing they covered, well, they covered a bunch of stuff, but they talked about like frame control, and who controls the frame essentially wins, right? And you control the frame by the different things you say, kind of like the alpha and the conversation and the pitch, right? The other thing they talked about was the status, right? So like they talked about, you might have heard it, a French waiter, and how in France, the waiter's like the alpha in the scenario. Like he essentially tells you, he like controls the whole experience, right? Even though you think you are, but he actually is, from the wine to the food to the everything, right? It's really, really cool. I think my biggest takeaway was that you should never see needy when you pitch something, and not needy like from a standpoint of like begging or anything like that. Needy from like a standpoint of like when you finish your presentation, let's say it's a presentation or a pitch, or like you're trying to get someone to like give you money for a real estate deal. Instead of being like, hey, I look forward to hearing back from you soon, or I look forward to hear back, or whatever. Instead of saying something like that, that makes you seem needy. And when people sense that you're needy, that makes them want to like withdraw from it, right? Not like invest with you or whatever. So instead being like, acting like you don't really need them, because that's when people want to be needed, right? So it was really cool. The guy raised money for like some crazy companies, like billions of dollars. The example they went over was like a $1 billion raise. They were pitching this company on who would raise the money, and his company he was working for or whatever ended up getting chosen to do it. And they had to raise $1 billion for this airport, which is crazy. And this was all during the recession, so it was even crazier, right? That they were able to make this happen and win the pitch. And you know, I think they built the airport. It didn't really go into it, but anyway, if you're looking for a new book to read, Pitch Anything. Really good book. And it doesn't even have to do with business, right? It's about day-to-day interactions, dealing with people that you're trying to sell you something or anything, right? This stuff can apply to anything, not just if you're pitching deals to people. So if you're looking for a good book, like I said, Pitch Anything, great book by Oren. You can read it yourself. I give it 2 thumbs up. I would highly recommend you give it a read. And what book should I read next? What's a book that you've read that has been really good? Drop it in the comments below, and I'll check it out. Have a good one.